May is soon coming to a close. With that comes the month of June. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of June. If you're not into reselling, that is okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hyped sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale. Specifically, we will be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or they may even sit on shelves resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just so you stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates and info, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you, such as the University Blue Jordan 1 and Silver Toe Jordan 1 shock drop that we just recently saw. Buckle up this month because we arguably have the best month of 2021 so far ahead of us, coming right off what ended up being a subpar month compared to the others, so lots to look forward to. Kicking off the month somewhat slow with June 1st starting out with the NMD-R1 OG making its return again for $140. Although this pair used to be extremely hyped, this era has now come to an end unfortunately. Due to the lackluster demand, I can only suggest these for personal wear, although I don't expect them to go too far below retail anyway, so if you do want a personal pair, don't sleep on them. This goes for both the white and black colorway. Also on June 1st for $135, the Jordan 1 Center Court white on white is going to be dropping again after their initial drop over a year ago. Perhaps too many people returned them. Anyway, this drop is for personal only, don't cop with resale intentions. Still not too exciting, on June 2nd for $110, we will be seeing another Air Force One tearaway, this time in the Arctic Punch reveal colorway. Although we have seen some tearaways go for easy lunch money or more in the past, I'm not feeling great about these considering they are already very low in pre-sale in many sizes. They are also in women's sizing, so if anything, you might be able to make a little bit of lunch money off the smaller sizes, but nothing too notable anyway. You'll likely have to be somewhat patient when selling as well. Now, hold on a second. We're about to get to the good stuff, do not worry. On June 3rd, for $100, we will be getting the Michigan Dunk Lows, as well as the Varsity Green Dunk Lows. Expect both pairs to be very profitable with great margins. Full throttle on both of them in all sizes, of course. Also, on June 3rd for $170, the Jordan 1 Women's Court Purple will be dropping. Unfortunately, demand for these is not very good right now, and stock is not super limited. Therefore, I am only expecting around lunch money in size 10 and up for the most part, with a subpar margin still. Remember, since these are a women's Jordan 1, the larger sizes should perform best. Also, on June 3rd for $180, the Kobe 6 Del Sol will be dropping. However, it is possible that they may be delayed. For now, it is the date though. These should be profitable with a good margin, with sizes 10 and up being the best for these, the bigger the better. Then on June 4th for $100, the Dunk Low Easter will finally be having their US release after several delays. Expect these to still be very profitable with a very good margin, just slightly less than the prior dunks we were mentioning. Also on June 4th, the LeBron 8 Low Miami Nights will finally be having their delayed US release. You should be able to make lunch money to small profit with a decent margin on sizes above 10, the bigger the better when it comes to these specifically. But now, prior to moving on to the rest of the heat, I do have two very exciting announcements for you guys who have been patiently waiting. First of all, just another brief update regarding Gargantua AIO, which I did briefly discuss last month as well. The release testing phase, part of beta testing, is going to be starting in several days. Since this is the beta phase, we will be increasing the amount of testers little by little as we do fix bugs and make improvements, which we've made significant progress off of so far. Eventually, it will be available to public as well with limited releases, but for these early stages, it will be exclusive to Endurance and Endurance Europe. As I did mention before, I promise I will keep you guys updated throughout this process. I will provide more details in a few weeks. Regarding the second announcement though, Endurance will finally be restocking on June 2nd, Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 p.m. CEST in Europe. Link and password will be tweeted from Endurance's Twitter. Endurance is a group to help you fully exploit the secondary market, but what makes Endurance so different though? To start off, Endurance offers numerous softwares completely free for all members to help them exploit drops. All members have access to a location spoofer to help them exploit sneakers stashes, sneakers passes, frenzy drops, etc. All members have access to an autofill tool with auto checkout and auto add to cart to destroy drops and restocks even if they don't have a bot. All members have access to a custom queue bot to help them efficiently pass waiting rooms on sites like Adidas, Finish Line, Mesh, Snipes, and even has a cookie feature feature for efficiently passing queue on Yeezy supply. There's also a Supreme add to cart bot to make manual checkouts extremely easy, which has now actually been implemented into the autofill. There's also a Dick's Sporting Goods bypass system, and for any botters, we also offer free software to help you guys out as well. For example, this could turn a one-click Gmail, profile converter, account gen, and much more, and even cheap in-house residential proxies available 24/7 for the most reliable providers. But that's not the end of it. We love innovation, and we're always developing new things to separate us from others. Then, of course, we have amazing relationships with a number of elite commercial bots for group buys that members actually want. My personal favorite, though, above all, Nike sneakers earlier for shock drops, scratches, AR hunts, sneaker stashes on hype releases, you name it. Out of all the cookouts this month, I'd say my favorite was probably our recent Target sports card manual cookout thanks to our monitors. Remember, we do provide intel on significantly more than just sneakers, consoles, GPUs, cards, art, you name it, we cover it. So again, the Endurance restock will be on June 2nd, Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 p.m. CEST in Europe. Link and password will be tweeted from Endurance's Twitter. Mark your calendars and set your alarms. Moving on now, back to the video. Also on June 4th, the Dunk Low Free 99 White will be dropping for $110 in men and $95 in grade school sizes. The men should be very profitable with a great margin, while the grade school pairs should still be profitable with a good margin, just not as great as the men's. Also on June 4th for $220, we will be getting another Jordan 4 Golf, this time in the metallic green colorway. If these have the same stock as the white cement pair, which had $20K on Sneakers US alone, I'm not confident that these will do too well. However, if they have the same stock as the prior Jordan 4 Golf, which was just under 3,000 pairs on Sneakers US, and of course some on other regions too, then they'll definitely be profitable with at least a good margin. I don't have stock numbers just yet, but I will keep you guys updated regarding these. If they do hypothetically have low stock, I'd expect at least lunch money for sizes above 10 with a decent margin. Not expecting much for the smaller sizes regardless though. Moving on to June 5th, the Yeezy 500 Low Taupe Light will be dropping for $200. Expect all sizes of these to be profitable with a very good margin, while sizes under 8 will be the best. Full throttle without a doubt on these. Also on June 5th for $190, the Jordan 6 Electric Green will be dropping. Unless these are super limited, I'd expect these to mainly just be a personal pair unfortunately. At best, you might be able to make a little bit of lunch money if you're selling locally and if you have no tax in your state. If stock is extremely low though, I will update you guys as I'll have it closer to the release date. Make sure to subscribe and enable post notifications, not just for these, but any hype sneakers, as well as the How to Cop guides for them. Then on June 7th for $220, the Yeezy 700 MNVN will be dropping. The Yeezy 700 MNVN Bright Cyan will be dropping. All sizes should be very profitable with a very good margin as well, and unlike most Yeezys, larger sizes actually tend to perform slightly better on MNVNs, but only by a minor amount. Unlike usually where smaller sizes tend to perform the best when it comes to Yeezys. Then on June 8th, just like the white pair we discussed earlier, now the Dunk Low Free 99 black pairs will be dropping for $110 in men and $95 in grade school size. Again, same situation, the men should be very profitable with a great margin, while the grade school pairs should be profitable with a good margin, just not as great as the men's. Moving on to June 10th for $100, we may potentially be seeing the Dunk Low Sunset drop after their initial delay, since they are on the Finish Line and JD calendar. I say potentially because other than that, it is not confirmed yet. Subject to delay again, of course. Anyway, expect these to still be very profitable with a great margin, but not as great as the prior dunks we have been discussing. And the same sort of situation goes for the Dunk Low Grade School Tiffany, which was initially supposed to drop last month. Now these should be dropping on June 10th for $70 in grade school sizes. Expect all of which to be very profitable with a great margin. I can't say the same for the preschool and toddler sizes though. Also on June 10th, some of the delayed US retailers should be dropping the Jordan 3 Menieres finally. Retail is $200, and of course you can still expect them to be very profitable with a great margin. Then on June 11th for $240, we will be getting the Yeezy 700 in Flame Ember. Due to the retail of $240 rather than the old $300, these should still be profitable in all sizes with a decent margin and a good margin in all sizes under 8. Also on June 11th for $110, the Dunk High Game Royal will be dropping. Expect all sizes to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Moving on to June 12th for $170, the Jordan 1 Fusion Red will be dropping. Expect these to be profitable with a good margin. Although these may not be the most hyped Jordan 1, it should definitely be an easy profit release nonetheless. Then on June 15th for $180, we should be seeing the delayed US retailers drop the Ambush Dunk High Royal. Still expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Are you guys sick of hearing that? I'm certainly not, but that's just to say we have a ton of fantastic releases this month. Then on June 16th for $220, we will be getting another Jordan 4 Golf in the ACG colorway. Same situation as the prior pair we discussed. In order for these to do well, they'll need to be very limited. I'll keep you guys updated, although at the moment my expectations aren't so great. Then jumping to June 21st for $55 each, the Yeezy Slide Core, Resin, Pure, and Inflame Orange will all be dropping, or I guess you could say restocking for most of them. Expect all of these colorways to remain very profitable with a great margin, full throttle of course on all these. Then on June 24th for $100 in men and $85 in grade school sizes, the Dunk Low University Blue will be dropping after their initial delay. Expect all sizes to be very profitable with a great margin, full throttle for sure. Also on June 24th for $220 each, the Yeezy 350 Mono Ice, Mono Clay, and Mono Mist will all be dropping. I'm expecting sizes under 8 to be profitable with a decent margin, while larger sizes may still be profitable with a poor margin. It all depends on stock for this one, and I'm not going to have the exact numbers unfortunately since this is an Adidas item and not Nike, but I will be able to estimate it based on what retailers are receiving them closer to the drop. I'll keep you guys updated of course. Then on June 25th for $200, the Yeezy 450 Dark Slate will be dropping. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Evidently, Yeezys are playing a pretty big factor this month, but there's obviously much more than that too. It's just coming all together to be the perfect storm of a month. Now, also this month, with no exact date just yet, we should be seeing the Jordan 4 Union Desert Moss and Jordan 4 Union Taupe Haze drop for $225. Of course, expect both of these to be very profitable with a great margin when they do drop, full throttle of course. We should also be seeing an undefeated collab on some dunks sometime this month, although I do not have the date for these as of yet. I will keep you guys updated, and I would expect both of the pairs to be very profitable with a great margin when they do end up dropping. But anyway, that will conclude it for today. Remember that the limited endurance restock will take place on June 2nd, Wednesday, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 p.m. CEST for Europe. Link and password will be tweeted from Endurance's Twitter. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Also subscribe and enable post notifications if you happen to be new here, and also follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and Personals for You for urgent updates such as the ones I did mention today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and of course, good luck on all these upcoming releases. We have an incredible month ahead of us.